All right. Good evening, Moorhead. I am Moorhead Mayor Shelley Carlson. The Moorhead City Council welcomes public input on issues listed on the agenda of general community interest, time and council permitting. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each. If you'd like to address the council during the meeting, you'll need to fill out a form provided by the city clerk, and we'll call you up during the citizens to address a council item on the agenda. You'll need to state your name and if you are a Moorhead resident. If those comments were submitted to the clerk prior to the meeting via email or phone, those comments will be entered into the record. For more information on participation, please visit the council meetings page on the City of Moorhead website at moorheadmn.gov. We, the Moorhead City Council, collectively with gratitude, acknowledge the sacred land the city of Moorhead is built upon. We acknowledge the people who have resided here for generations and recognize that the spirit of the Dakota, Ojibwe, Métis, and all indigenous communities permeate this land. And with that, could I get a roll call for our July 28th, 2025 City Council meeting?
Ryan Nelson.
Present.
Nicole Matson. Heather Niesemeyer. Here. Emily Moore.
Here.
Deb White. Lisa Borgen. Sebastian McDougall.
Here.
Chuck Hendrickson.
Present.
Mayor Shelley Carlson.
Here, and for those who are able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance, flag. And Assistant City Manager Reitz, do we have any agenda amendments?
There are no amendments tonight, Mayor.
All right, thank you. And do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved, Matson. Second, Niesemeyer.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? See none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. We are on to recognitions and presentations, and the first presentation is on Choice Bank, and I am going to call our Park and Rec, I don't even know your title, Steve. The Special Events Specialist, Steve French, up to the podium to give our presentation. I was going to just call you the Parks Rec Guru, but if you want that other title, that's fine.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'd like to recognize Choice Bank for their generous $10,000 sponsorship for the Moorhead Farmers Market. This contribution supports a wide range of our food access initiatives, including the SNAP matching dollars, market and produce bucks, and the Power of Produce Club. These clubs help ensure that the families of all ages and income levels can access fresh, local foods throughout the season. And we're grateful to Choice Bank for investing in the health and the well-being of our community. So, thank you. No, I didn't. Did you guys want to? This is your chance.
Okay. Thank you to Choice Bank so much. The farmers market has just, I think, just really taken off in the city of Moorhead, and more people are coming, and I like the fact that it helps to address some food insecurities that we have throughout the community. So a deep appreciation to Choice Bank for that generous donation. The second presentation of tonight is a 2025 bond sale issuance from Baker Tilly Municipal Advisors, and I believe that Chris Hogan is online. Is that correct? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. We're going to take a minute to try to see if Chris is online. Oh, yep. All right. Chris, can you hear us? We can't hear you. I can see that our communications folks are trying to figure out the sound, but you can hear us? Okay. Nope, still can't hear you. Was it working before?
Try.
Oh, now we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
We can hear you now.
Oh, good. I'm like, I don't know what else to do. My mic says I'm on, so yay.
Fantastic.
Well, thank you, Mayor and members of the council. Pleasure to be here tonight. My name is Chris Hogan. I'm Director of Baker Tilly. I work with the city, serve the city as their municipal advisor. I'm here tonight to just give some background information on the city's upcoming bond issues and the resolutions that they're considering tonight. The city will be selling 11,560,000 general obligation temporary improvement bonds, Series 2025A, and 16,575,000 general obligation improvement and wastewater refunding bonds, Series 2025B. These bonds are being issued for the following purposes. The 2025A is going to finance improvements related to the city's mall redevelopment area. It's as a short-term financing in anticipation of a long-term financing sometime in the current future. And proceeds will always also pay the capitalized interest and cost of issuance. The 2025B bond issue is going to be used, proceeds are going to use to finance various improvement projects within the city and also to refund the city's November 1, 2026 through 2034 maturities of their general obligation wastewater revenue bond series 2014A. And I'll give a little bit more information on that. The bonds are issued under certain statutory authorities that we work with bond counsel in the city to make sure that they are in compliance with. The bonds are both general obligation pledges of the city. The Series A, the temporary bonds, the pledge is also a pledge of a future financing sometime within this short-term financing is for 3 years with the anticipation that potentially the city would at some point take this bond issue out and do a long-term financing for this project. The 2025B bonds are being paid with special assessments, tax levies, and then the refunding portion is going to be paid with the wastewater treatment fund of the city. Assessments going to be pledged in an amount of $3,960,198. And the difference, of course, is, as I said, will be paid with a tax levy. Both assessments and tax levy will be levied in 25, start collection in 2026, and the refunding portion will be paid with wastewater treatment funds. The bonds are the 2025A bonds. The short term is the 3-year financing. Like I said, with capitalized interest, we'll pay the interest on the bonds until maturity. Maybe I'll explain a little bit more about that issue. The short-term financing is being done because this is the mall redevelopment project that at some point will be paid with special assessments or in part with special assessments, but that property hasn't been sold yet. So this gives you some time to be doing the projects, funding the projects with a long-term financing in the future to provide flexibility. And I think there's a phase 3, as I understand, that may get wrapped into a long-term financing as well. The B bonds have a 20-year repayment structure around the assessments to result in a level annual levy. The refunding portion, we're the city has chosen to go ahead with this refunding for two reasons. Interest rates are at a level that they can do this and restructure the bonds. So this bond issue is going to be restructured to give the city some debt service relief for the first 5 years. So overall, all the payments made from any outstanding wastewater bonds of the city, including this one, these are restructured to give a little bit less debt service in 5 years. But since the interest rates are at a lower rate than the original financing, we're able to do this without adding interest cost. In part, this is due to, well, this restructure is being done because of the Anheuser-Busch leaving the city, and this will just help with revenue relief for a couple of years. These bonds, they have optional redemptions for the short-term financing, the 2025A. We have it set up to have that you can call the bonds in a year, and again, that's to allow flexibility for that issue. And the 2025Bs, we have it set up to do an optional call in 10 years, which is a traditional standard call for a bond issue that has a repayment term as 20 years. As part of a bond issuance, a public sale, we do go through a rating process to get the bonds rated. We have that scheduled for Wednesday, August 6th. So that's a conference that members of the city staff, and myself and Moody's will do a conference call, and they have an agenda, and we go through all that, and then a week later we'll get the rating for the bonds. So that rating is set up for August 5th. The bonds will be selling on August 25th. Proceeds, you'll get the proceeds on September 18th. Interest rates have been, I don't know if you have the packet in front of you, but if you do, we always put a graph in there, and we show a 5-year graph of the BBI. The BBI is indices that we use to see how the market moves. And to be honest, if you have that graph, I don't know if you have it, this year, since January till now, it's been really, interest rates have not moved a lot. They've been up and down a little bit, but no significant movement in rates. At this point, we're not anticipating rates to move significantly, at least between now and the bond sale. But that is something we will monitor, and we do update the city a few days before the sale, just to inform them how we think the bonds are going to price. And we'll see if there's any market movement. Hopefully it'll go down. That's always the wish. And I guess that's all I have. I'll take questions if there are any.
All right, thank you so much, Chris. Are there any questions for Ms. Hogan? And if not, we can skip down to 18A and 18B. We'll need to take these separately as a motion. But if there aren't any questions, I would be looking for a motion to approve 18A.
So move, Niesemeyer.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? See none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. And now I'd be looking for a motion to approve 18B.
So move, Morgan.
Second, Chuck.
Motion and second. Any discussion? See none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries as well. Well, thank you, Chris, for joining us tonight. And we will keep our fingers crossed as the time gets closer that the interest rate goes down a little bit.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on to number 6, the approval of the July 14th, 2025 meeting minutes. I have a motion to approve the minutes.
So move, Mattson.
Second, Moore.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? See none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. And we do have one citizen who wishes to address the council at this time, Mr. Jeremy Laframboise. You wanted to come up to the podium? And if you want to state your name and if you're a resident of Moorhead, and I know that you were here before, so you know about the 3 minutes and
Technology.
this very technologically savvy clock. So
I
please go
understand.
ahead.
My name is Jeremy Laframboise, and I'm a member of Moorhead. I'm here to address several conflicts of interest that make local accountability impossible for my brother Joel's death investigation. First, let me address the inadequate minutes from June 23rd. I delivered detailed testimony about civil rights violations and police misconduct, yet your minutes only state a citizen address concerns a 2009 shooting investigation. The full video is available on YouTube, and citizens can see for themselves how you minimize serious allegations into a generic summary. Now to the core of the issue. This council cannot objectively investigate former blank blank conduct because blank blank sits here on this very council. In 2009, Detective Blank was involved in my brother's case. Today, Councilman Blank would be investigating his own alleged misconduct. That is legally and ethically impossible. The conflict runs deeper. Former Police Chief David E. Bringer, who oversaw the 2009 investigation, now serves on the Board of County Commissioners. Multiple current officials, including the mayor and council members, maintain Facebook relationships or friendships with both of these people. Last time I spoke at this meeting, the mayor directed me to the new chief of police, stating he was not part of the department and therefore can provide an objective review. However, in the emails, the chief of police stated that he was sending my request for internal investigation to the county attorney's office, the same attorney who declined to prosecute my brother's shooter and is now advising the new chief of police, Helmlick's review. These aren't minor connections. They represent systemic conflicts that compromise any local investigation. You cannot be both judge and defendant. The appearance of impropriety alone demands external review. In my request for a meeting, Mayor Carlson claimed she had no authority over this matter. While this is true, given she has no administrative duties, however, Section 2.10 of the Minnesota Charter Chapter explicitly grants the City Council power to investigate the affairs of the city and the conduct of city departments, officers, and agencies. This includes police misconduct. Therefore, I formally request the councilman recuse himself from any matters related to my brother's case. Second, eliminate all conflicts of interest so this council can exercise its authority under Section 2.10 to investigate police misconduct. 3, if not possible, you acknowledge these conflicts, make fair local review impossible, and publicly support independent external investigation by referral and letter of support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leframboise. And just to reiterate, you know, the last time that you were here, we did have you meet with Chief Helmick, who really didn't know anything about this case. He wasn't with the department at the time. So as far as an independent review, you know, I think that he was able to provide that, and I know that he met with you. An external review of the issues that you addressed within our police department would need to be done by the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Investigation, the BCI, and they were actually involved with the case. So it is unlikely that they would authorize a review of the case. And contrary to maybe how you're interpreting what what our city charter says, we as the council do not investigate criminal cases. We don't have the authority to do that, and nor are any of us licensed peace officers, so we wouldn't even have the appropriate background to do that. Any investigations would be done internally and would be recommended by our chief of police, and in this case, he does not recommend that. He has reviewed it. So I know I provided with you information on accessing the Minnesota Attorney General's Office of Civil Complaints. You certainly can do that, and same with the Minnesota Association of County Attorneys if you wanted to go that route. But there's nothing that we would be able to do as a council. I just wanted to address that to you, and you know, happy to meet with you later, but we don't engage in back and forth, so just wanted to give you that information. So moving on to (18C), and this is an item that I will turn over to our Assistant City Manager, Mike Reitz.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. This item is in front of you this evening. It is a resolution to recommending approval of the Guaranteed Maximum Price Amendment Number 3 with McGough Construction related to the Moorhead City Hall renovation. This is, really kind of the majority of the project. They have bid it out. I'll have Thomas Dahl from McGough give you a little bit more detail in a second here. But it involves the interior remodeling, all of the interior work, as well as some work on the first floor windows and the exterior cleaning of the building. With this, the approval of this GMP, it leaves us $200,000 under the projected budget. So I guess for some additional detail on the bidding and other information, I'll turn it over to Thomas.
Thomas, if you want to come up to the podium. So, and even if you talk really loud, we can hear you, but
Okay.
for those
Gotcha.
who want to listen online later, they would not be able to hear from you. So thank
So
you.
I'm Thomas Dahl with McGough, and as Mike stated, yes, we are looking for approval of a value of $17,550,000 for GMP3. As he alluded to, this is kind of inclusive of the remainder of the project. So GMP1, which you guys approved for $1,636,127, was for the demolition of all the existing infrastructure, walls. GMP2, which we were here a month ago, that was for the $2,316,240. That was for the earthwork that's currently happening right now, the concrete footings and foundations and structural steel, as well as the window replacement for all the windows on the existing City Hall building. And then this is the remainder. So this is all the finishes, all the new mechanical, electrical, plumbings, the curtain wall systems around everything. So this is the last GMP amendment that would be involved with this project. With this, we had a really successful bid date. Mike said, $200,000 under budget. That includes almost $700,000 of added alternates that were preferred for comfort and sound and acoustic items. So it was a really, really successful bid day. Any questions?
All right, thank you. Any questions from council? And if there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve this this resolution.
So moved, Hendrickson.
Second, Niesemeyer.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Right, thank you so much, Thomas, and also Oliver from McGough for coming to the council meeting tonight. Really appreciate it, and can't wait to see what it looks like when it's all done. So, moving on to 18F, and this council agenda item, I will turn over to Miss Lisa Bodie, who I would like to say just recently won Excellent in Service Award from the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities. So we have award-winning director.
Thank you very much. And thanks for those of you that were able to make it. It made the night very special. So I appreciate it. Tonight, I'm here to talk about the Loop. And it's exciting to see it out of the ground and coming up and changing every day on Center Avenue. And I'm also excited about the work that's been going on for about the past year that we've called the Mayor's Circle. Mayor Carlson convened a group of people in the community interested in helping to raise the remaining funds that aren't paid by the sales tax with a development goal of about $4 million. The Mayor's Circle consists of Mayor Carlson as well as 3 former mayors of Moorhead, Mayor Lanning, Mayor Voxland, and Mayor Williams, members of the Friends of the Library, some of you at this podium, and a few other just really passionate, interested people in the community that are helping with this work. And the Mayor's Circle has about $400,000 in commitments, with a couple of major decisions coming in August by some potentially very large donors. And so we're making good progress with that. Included within your meeting materials are the form of a naming rights agreement for certain areas within the facility that are appropriate for naming and that people can honor or memorialize their business or their loved ones or their family, and with conditions that protect both the donor and the city for a period of 25 years to ensure that that legacy continues into the future. And there is also a sponsorship guide within your materials that will be updated on an ongoing basis as we get commitments from individuals. And what we'd like to do is, rather than bring every naming rights agreement to the city council, is for you to approve the form of the agreement, which the city attorney has reviewed and modified to meet the needs of the donors and the city. And if the donation is within the minimums that are listed within that sponsorship brochure, that the mayor and city manager would have the authority to enter into the agreement without bringing each and every agreement before the city council. That does not mean that we won't want to use time under presentations to to have the opportunity to thank donors and let them celebrate their gift with the community. So that's how we would like to proceed. So I'm bringing that form of agreement to you tonight and hoping that I can answer any questions that you might have about that process, and that we can hopefully streamline the administrative process. So with that,
All right,
let me know
thank
what
you.
questions you might
Thank you,
have.
Ms. Bodie. Any questions from council members? Councilmember Borgen.
I don't really have a question, but I just want to commend you for all of the work you and your staff have done to come up with the materials for those of us that are on the mayor's circle to go out and try to encourage people to donate and be a part of this awesome new legacy of Moorhead. So congratulations to you and the mayor, who's done a heck of a job getting us some big donations as well. So it's just really, it's great to see. And, the loop is up. You can walk around it already. There's no windows, but it's there. It's really cool. So we're getting there. It's really exciting for the city of Moorhead.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? If not, I would be looking for a motion to approve this resolution.
So moved.
Second, Niesemeyer.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? And I would say the only discussion, I would just concur with Councilmember Borgen. Lisa, you and Caleb and Kelly have done a phenomenal job. They are award-winning documents that we're able to share with people who are interested in partnering with the city to make sure that the community center library is fully funded. So,
Well, I'd say it's a labor of love for all of us. We've been working toward this goal for a long time, and it's just an exciting time, and it's fun to work with the prospective donors because it's not a hard sell by any means. People are really excited about it.
So I have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to mayor and council reports. Any council members have reports? Councilmember Niesemeyer.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a slew of reports. July 22nd was a meeting of the Moorhead Public Housing Agency group. And although I serve as a simple liaison on that committee, I am very pleased to see all of the work that goes on to house the hardest to house in our community and provide them wonderful spaces in which to live. The city of Moorhead applied for some grant funds and was able to provide for Moorhead Public Housing $150,000 in grant funds. $50,000 of that grant is going to be leveraged in the Moorhead Public Housing POP application funds for new windows and a generator at the Riverview High Rise. That remaining $150,000 is going to be used to replace the roof at the high rise. Projects that continue to go on at the high rise are repair after a fire in March. That will take another few months to replace all of the items that were damaged not only by fire but water as well in managing that fire. And the plumbing project at Sharpview is on its last checkpoint to be set free and work to begin. So I'm very excited about those projects in our community. Again, giving those who are hardest to house a wonderful place to live in Moorhead. I also had the opportunity to attend the Solid Waste Advisory Committee, or fondly SWAC, on July 24th, where we learned of a major MPCA, or Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, violation at the landfill in Holly. The solid waste staff are waiting a final decision, but they do have a plan for remediation. MPCA will give their final decision in the coming weeks, and we look forward to an update at SWAC. We also learned that the demo landfill continues to be closed to individuals who would like to bring demolition waste. As you know, our community is growing, and we have lots of demo waste. And so that required a request for additional dumpsters, not only here at the Resource Recovery Center, but also at the landfill. And so the committee was able to approve the purchase of those dumpsters to better allow individuals who come to the Resource Recovery Center or the landfill to get rid of their demolition waste. That same day, we had a Resource Recovery Committee where we are working on negotiating our agreement with Clay County on the Resource Recovery Center and the services provided to Clay County and Clay County residents, of which the City of Moorhead residents are also a large chunk of Clay County. So that conversation continues, and those are my updates, Mayor.
Thank you. We can always rely on you to talk about plumbing and garbage. Any other council update? Councilmember Moore.
On July 16th, I attended the Coalition to End Homelessness, which is a collaboration with United Way. We had awesome participation from the city of Moorhead with Inclusive Moorhead there. I got to sit with our police chief and city worker Tanya Kunza. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name correctly or not, but anyway, we had a melding of minds and pen to paper to work on this plan to end homelessness in our community. So excited and energized to work on that initiative. On July 17th, I attended the West Central Initiative, learned exciting things about the revolving loan funds, also received a legislative update, and the University of Minnesota did a presentation on climate impacts that lead to severe weather and how that's impacting the state of Minnesota. Also on July 17th, I attended the Lake Agassiz Regional Library Finance Board meeting. Hats off to Liz Lynch for her leadership in that meeting. I believe we're getting closer and closer to a lease agreement for them to have space in our new library. And then on July 22nd, we had a packed pavilion at Gooseberry Mound Park with Councilmember Niesmeyer, Mattson, White, and myself, speaking with our local constituents and listening, hearing, receiving great ideas. And yeah, it was a great event. And then July 23rd, I took off and went to Bemidji for the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities Conference, where there was a lot of learning and connecting, whether it was on rural democracy, PFAS, or data centers, or navigating divided government. There was so much to learn and connect with others to see how they're handling these situations in their communities. And best of all was getting to celebrate Moorhead, just raking in the awards there with our Mayor Carlson getting the President's Award, and then Lisa Boda getting an award, and then Rob Kupek getting an award. So it was a really great time to see Moorhead shine.
Thank you. Other council members. Councilmember Nelson, I saw your hand go up first, and then Councilmember Mattson.
Thank you, Mayor. I have two updates this evening. First, I missed the last council meeting, so I would have given these updates a couple weeks ago, but I was out of town. So the first one, I'll start off with Historical and Cultural Society of Clay County. We've hired a new executive director there. Some of you probably already met her. She's hit the ground running. Laura Forty is her name. She comes, it's a excellent candidate. She came to us from the State Historical Society of North Dakota. So I think we hit it out of the park with getting Laura here to that organization. So we've had a board meeting already with her, and I tell you, we left that board meeting, I was excited. She had some great questions and some great ideas already. So that was awesome. And then number two, last month, or at the last meeting, Mayor Carlson gave updates on the Red River Regional Dispatch Center. And I just want to expand on that a little bit. I commonly refer to it, and a lot of the first responders in the area refer to it as the RRDC. I sit on the board there, and Mayor Carlson did a good job of giving an update. But the executive director over there gave a nice summary, and I thought, let's share this with council, with all our business. Resolutions and public hearings and budgetary discussions. Let's pause for just a minute and listen to this. I find my notes here in the space. So June 20th, and for those that don't know, the RRDC serves West Fargo, Moorhead, Cass and Clay counties, and obviously all the first responders there. That's our team of dispatchers serving our communities. So, in our busy day-to-day lives, this is what kind of happens on some days. This is how the day started. On June 20th, this was a particular high-volume day for the RRDC. 11:46 a.m., RRDC received reports of an individual shooting from a vehicle in Moorhead. That was at 11:46 a.m. Fast forward one full minute, 11:47 a.m. Simultaneously, multiple calls coming in regarding a male throwing objects at vehicles in Fargo. The influx of 911 calls triggered an alarm in their call handling system, causing their calls to roll over to their backup lines. Their backup line, they're their own backup system at the RRDC. There's no other dispatch center that can handle the volume that they do. So they're their own backup and handling that themselves. They had two supervisors that were off console that immediately stepped in and started assisting with the overwhelming number of phone calls that were coming in during the time. The other were plugged into the Moorhead dispatcher to serve as a second set of ears for what was taking place in Moorhead at the time. An Everbridge notification was promptly issued to advise the public to avoid the area of the shooting. While not unusual for incidents in themselves to have them simultaneously occur, these incidents pushed their operations to peak demand. The dispatchers, as usual, responded swiftly, professionally, and with a high level of training that they're known for. And I think Executive Director Glasso does a great job of getting their team trained for these situations. Fast forwarding to that evening, during a severe weather response, around 10 p.m., dispatchers began receiving reports of severe weather approaching Cass County. Throughout the night, RRDC processed the 5 tornado warnings, 9:56 p.m., 10:43 p.m., 11:20 p.m., 11:25 p.m., and 11:50 p.m. In addition, these are in addition to the standard severe thunderstorm warnings. There was a supervisor, Corey, who joined the Cass County dispatcher, Jenna, to help manage some radio traffic and dispatch requests, etc. Within a 20-minute window, they processed 7 high-priority calls in Cass County, including multiple injury accidents, a gas leak, alarms, grain elevator collapse, and down power lines, in addition to the loss of life. So typically, RRDC, when they have their busiest hour, generates about 25 911 calls and about 60 administrative calls. So that's a total of 85 on their busiest time. The 11 a.m. hour that day, they had 40 911 calls and 60 administrative calls, totaling 100. The 11 p.m. hour, they had 40 911 calls and 79 administrative calls, totaling 119. So just about double their busiest time. And then at the 12 a.m. hour, 57 911 calls and 122 administrative calls, totaling 179. That's a lot of work and that's one hell of a response by our team of dispatchers and our team of first responders in our community. So I thought, let's give it a minute, just pause, thank our first responders, not our dispatchers especially, but those that are in the back of the room, police, fire, EMS, dispatchers, you rocked it that night. Thank you, Amanda Glasso, for sharing that, and thanks for the council for listening, but that's just some of the work that your team, that we invest in over there. So it's great work, it's awesome. So thank you to them, and I think it's safe to say on behalf of City Council, I think we all thank the staff over there for the work they do. So thank you for the time.
Thank you for sharing that, Councilmember Nelson. I know that when the director shared that information, I was astounded at the number of calls the dispatchers were handling. And I think it underscores the patience that we as public have to have when we're calling for maybe a non-priority call, if it's just a lost dog. If it takes them an hour to respond, it might be because there are other high priority calls that are coming into dispatch, and there's only so many people that can answer and actually respond to us with maybe some of our lower priority calls. So thank you for highlighting the work that they do. Councilmember Mattson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Choice Bank's generous donation to the Moorhead Farmers Market reminded me of a conversation I had a month or so ago with one of the farmers who goes to the market. And she said she loves being in Moorhead, loves being at the market. The only real issue she has is that people seem to have a perception that there are not vegetables being sold at the Moorhead Farmers Market, and so I have been making videos every time I go of the vegetables that I see, and I just want people to know there are beautiful vegetables at the market. Last time I was there, we had 3 different vendors. I think that was 2 weeks ago. Like anything that's in season right now was at the market, and I have made some very delicious and healthy dinners out of those vegetables. So in addition to vegetables, herbs, you can get bread, baklava, don't even get me started. Preserves, honey, lots of things at the market, 3:30 to 6:30 every Tuesday. And then I'm sure it's been mentioned or will be mentioned, but the global market is back this tomorrow as well from 5 to 7. And all of that happens here, either inside the MCOMs or outside at Viking Ship Park.
Thank you. Any other council members have reports? All right, seeing none, I will go down to my reports. I'm going to start out with first a save the date that I got in my email inbox today. This will be Wednesday, August 27th from 12 to 6 p.m. at the Moorhead Public Library. This is going to be the Battle of the Badge Blood Drive, police versus fire, in the respective cities of Moorhead one day, and then the next day Fargo, and the first annual battle of the city. So it's Moorhead versus Fargo. So we're hoping that police versus fire, that we are able to get more blood donated on the Minnesota side than the Fargo side. So
What was that date again? So we
August
can mark it down.
27th from 12 to 6 p.m. at the Moorhead Public Library. So more to come on that. This was the first email that I received, but I wanted to get that date out there so it can get on everybody's calendar. So since the last council meeting, I've participated in 9 meetings at our events. The first was a Safe City and Night, and I am going to read an email that I actually got from Sergeant Scott Kostorch, because I think that lifting up the people that have done incredible work for these community-led events, I just think that that's really important so that we all hear this and it's memorialized. First of all, a huge thank you to Sergeant Scott Kostorch, who happens to be here tonight, for leading this event. and being the mastermind behind it, it has grown from a 2-park operation 4 years ago with about 300 in attendance to a 3-park ordeal that served over 900 people this year. And I am reading your email that you sent to me. Scott did not expect this program to grow, but fortunate to have an amazing team that keeps it going. The city's support from top down is greatly appreciated, as this event serves to highlight so many public and local nonprofit services. And Sergeant Kosorich wanted to highlight the committee that worked really hard to put this together. One was that he highlighted was Detective Katie Schultz, who was his right-hand person since the start of the event. Her organization is second to none and keeps Scott on point and focused on all the moving parts. Parks and Rec Director Sean Brandenburg. There was a lot thrown at him week 1 of his employment, and he was so accommodating. He and his staff bent over backwards to meet a lot of the requests, and he never said no once. He has a lot of energy and positivity and kept the creative side going to come up with new ideas. Our communications coordinator, Kelly Kuntz, she is a rock star. It says so right there. She came up with a bunch of ideas like the speed sign and highlighted events on Facebook, an effort that certainly helped drive the numbers coming to the events. And Moorhead Police Department Community Policing Coordinator Leanna Secord, like Sean Brandenburg, Leanna didn't get really a choice on participating, and she is also new in her position. She helped with organization, getting volunteers for the events, stepped up when they were short, and filled in when needed without even being asked. And also firefighter Mike Miller. He was in from day 1 as well and has been extremely accommodating, helped with event planning and layout, as well as arranging the table setup and many other tasks during the events. And I just want to give a shout out to you and your entire committee, serving 900 people in our community. And I was only able to make 2 of them, but boy, when you see those kids with the faces with their dilly bars melted all over their face, but their grins, we know that is a great event. So thank you for that. Like Councilmember Moore stated, I also attended the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities summer conference, and Lisa Bodie won an award, and as did our Senator Rob Kupek, who won the first term Legislator of the Year. The 17th, I attended the Chamber of Minnesota Legislative Update. Representative Joan Joy and Senator Rob Kupek were attended to provide insight into the 2025 legislative session and thoughts going into 2026. Unfortunately, Rep. Keeler was not able to attend. On the 21st, with the 17 years at the HCSCC, there was a retirement party for Marine Kelly Jonasson, and I was able to read a proclamation declaring July 21st Marine Kelly Jonasson Day to congratulate her on 17 years and her retirement at HCSCC. I was on the Chamberlink show with Derek LaPointe and Stacia Stisma from the Moorhead Business Association on July 22nd. And July 23rd, the Chattanooga, Tennessee mayor, Tim Kelly, was in town. So had breakfast with him and the other 2 Metro mayors. He was here for the TEDx event, and it was fascinating talking to him with a town that is about the size of the whole Fargo-Moorhead metropolitan area. Very, very similar issues: housing, childcare, public safety, specifically law enforcement recruitment, workforce challenges, and ironically, one of his hot button topics that is in his city that is getting a lot of debate is whether or not to allow chickens in the backyard. We all 3 of us metro area mayors offered up the ordinances that we have in our Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo, and we encouraged him to just go forth with the chicken ordinance, that the town doesn't become overrun with chickens. And I also offered him our turkeys. He did not want them, though. The July 24th, I had a meeting with the new U.S. Army Corps of Engineer colonel who is on the diversion, that is Colonel Chase. So every few years we get a change of guard. So we have a new commander in place. It sounds like he's going to be a great asset. And on August 7th, he will be here to oversee the Red River control structure of the diversion project being turned over to the Metro Flood Diversion at 9 a.m. So that's a huge deal in the diversion world. And that is my updates for the evening, and I'll turn it to you, Assistant City Manager Mike Reitz.
No updates tonight, Mayor.
And we do not have an executive session, and we have no new business, so we are going to adjourn at not 9:20, but 6:20. Good night, Moorhead.